What's something your parents always believed in that was completely false? Not my parents, but my grandma believes lightning bolts can get through the house mirrors. She covers all the mirrors in her house with blankets when there's a storm. Lightning bolts can go through mirrors, but not through a blanket. Interesting. My father always laments the invention of gas engines, saying how much better life would be if we had stuck with steam engines since we would just have to fill our cars up with water. Sorry, Dad. I know you mean well, but steam engines don't work like that. Had to break it to him over the summer and he looked crushed that he had gone on saying this for so long. It's strange how people don't realize that if they see something extremely obvious that would be way better than how things are done, it's probably not being done because they are missing something. My mom made a paste out of baking soda and a little bit of water and thought it would cure my sore throat. She would put it on her finger and rub my tonsils with it until I sometimes puked. She also thought that minced onion in your stuffy nose will clear it all up. You just have to endure the intense burning for a few moments. Yay. I hated being sick as a child. Well, I guess you never faked sick to stay home from school. My mother freaks out when we pass a truck. She thinks the car can be sucked under the 18-wheeler's trailer. My father is awesome and always acts like it's pulling the car in. Then he saves the day. My mom still thinks that it is possible. My father is awesome and always acts like it's pulling the car in. This might have something to do with why your mother still believes it. My dad wouldn't let me play the NES after a shower for fear of electrocution. What? My mom wouldn't let me play my PlayStation during a thunderstorm. For the same reason. My mother has weird medical theories. She thinks walnuts are good for the lungs because they look like lungs, and that farting can help cure vertigo. The first was at one time a legitimate medical theory. However, it's extremely ancient, medieval, and I'm surprised your mom subscribed to it. The garbage men are all kidnappers and are pissed. When you hear the garbage truck come around, run for your life. My mother believes that it is a fact that women who enjoy intercourse have baby girls and women who don't enjoy intercourse have boys. Not only is this a wives' tale, but she has it reversed. The women who enjoy intercourse have boys according to the myth. I actually got into an argument about it with her. She insisted it was scientific fact. Rolls eyes. I was raised to say rabbit rabbit first thing on the first day of every month for good luck. Rabbit rabbit lettuce lettuce if I didn't say it first thing. And I've never met anyone else who's ever heard of this superstition. My mom thought that the word stealthy meant strong because of the B-2 stealth bomber airplane. I know this makes no sense at all, but it's my mom. First came up when she said to me one day, "Wow, you're looking very stealthy. Have you been working out?" I was like, wait, do I not know the meaning of stealthy? That they know how to handle computers. Coming home from school and uninstalling toolbars. That the computer is broken again because I used it one time last year. My mom believes that playing evil games or watching scary movies will bring demons into the house. She also believes that people put AIDS into ketchup dispensers at fast food joints and that if you eat too much popcorn you'll get popcorn lung. Oh, and she also believes that the government puts RFID chips into vaccine shots so that they can track everything you do, all in an effort to bring about the Antichrist. My mom thought ordering pizza reflected poorly on her because the neighbors would see delivery guy and know that she hadn't cooked her family dinner. On the rare occasions when she would let us order pizza, we had to go pick it up and then drive it into the garage and close the door before we took the pizza into the house. BTW, it took us years to tease this out of her. We never understood why she was such a reluctant, secretive weirdo about pizza. It's actually pretty sweet that she took her job as a homemaker so seriously. But geez, mom, relax. That people open bags of chips in the store, poison them, and then reseal them. No one does that, mother. That the average stranger is not only going to steal my stuff, but kidnap and murder me. I understand being protective, but I can't even go biking through my own neighborhood. My mother wouldn't let us drink water right after we took any liquid medicines. She thought it would dilute them. Then she must have hated homeopathy with a passion. My dad insists it's pronounced Steinfeld, despite the obvious lack of the letter T absolutely freaking anywhere in Jerry's name. That's obviously not correct. Anyone who does anything that involves putting something in their mouth, smoking, chewing gum, do so because they were not breastfed as a child and need to make up for a childhood of not having something in your mouth. Every cigarette smoker and gum chewer in the world was never breastfed. She was absolutely perplexed the day I came home chewing gum. Spit that out, you were breastfed. Some people think that if a child is born through C-section they will not be as tough because they did not have to fight their way through the birth canal. When I had my first child, my ex-mother told me to not sleep with her in my bed. I told her yeah, I know. I could roll over and smother her. I read about it, mom. No, she says. No, the tapeworms in your trypus, Spanish for intestines, crawl out of your kilo, butthole in espinal, and into baby culo. I'm sorry Mijo, son, but that's how you got baby diarrhea when I let you sleep with me that one time you was a baby. My mom was convinced that Tiger Woods was Oprah's son. I'm mixed. My daughter's mom is white and from Iowa. Her mom came to visit once and was curious about the weird black people tradition of keeping Michael Jackson's baby picture around the house. It was my picture, and I look nothing like baby Michael. Any by baby I mean 4-year-old. Wi-Fi was pronounced wee-fee. In the 80s my mother and father heard of a game for the Atari 2600 called Dungeons and Dragons and it was possessing children who played it. They heard that you would become locked in a trance, staring at the screen and you would have a death grip on the controller and no one else could separate your hand from it. And the power plug for the Atari would be magically bound to the plug-in on the wall and no one could unplug it. My parents are so stupid. Except for the power plug thing. That's pretty much how I play most video games. They had a bet going since I was young that I would come out as gay. I'm straight. My Mexican mom told me to not let a broom sweep over my feet or I'll never get married. Also she said I needed to keep a safety pin on my clothes during a full moon to protect my unborn baby. Also, La Llorona. Also, we live in Texas, and one time our dog went missing and she swore it was the chupacabra to keep me from looking for it. I later found out that my parents had put our dog to sleep because he got rabies. But WTF mom. There seems to be a lot of superstition involving brooms, like how you can't sweep your porch after dark or you'll summon a demon. That you can pause your online game. My dad would and still does use a light year as a measure of time. For example, we've been waiting on you for a light year. Hurry up. That with determination and persistence, you can walk into a hospital or law firm and get a job as a professional in those practices without any prior related education or experience. Still hearing this one from my fiance's parents. My mom legitimately thought that Albert Einstein invented math. My father used to think you get irradiated by standing in front of a microwave. Mine too. I'd get in trouble for watching the food go round and round. My mother was convinced the Smurfs were satanic. This smelly horrible tasting soup is good for you, although I don't have any credible information to back this up. My fellow Asians will understand. Tampons are not to be used by girls because they will make you a woman. Subsequently, no man will ever marry a non-virgin. Also, that they might enjoy the process, somehow, and it turns the sweet little princesses into total hoss. Not an urban legend, just complete ignorance. Alright, so I still get a ton of mail sent to my mom's house because I move a lot. About a month ago I went over to her house as a visit and she hands me all of my mail. I look through it all and thank her for keeping it for me. But it's all junk anyway. I tell her I don't want to take it back home with me, so I'm just going to throw it away. She says you can't do that. It's illegal to throw away mail. My stepdad and my boyfriend both look at her like what? But I'm coming to the realization that this was why my apartment was filled with unopened junk mail. She's been saying that since I was a kid. My apartment became so clean that night. That the Pokemon anime contained atheist subliminal messages because it was produced in Red China, which even I knew it wasn't. Ha, this one is classic. Told my mom once that 99% of all species that once existed on Earth are now extinct. Mom said, yeah, it's because the Chinese are fishing them all out. SMH. Them Asians always be like gotta catch 'em all. My parents are aboard the autism train. Shorts cause autism. Batteries cause autism. Plastic causes autism. Not the fact that my dad was mildly autistic. Number. Not at all. Sleeping with the fan on will kill me. I've done that every night for years. My parents live in India. As far as I can tell, they believe all of the following. That extremist Muslims are destroying the country. That right-wing Hindus are destroying the country. That left-wing militants, Maoists, Naxalites, are destroying the country. That unscrupulous rich people are destroying the country. That unscrupulous poor people are destroying the country. That ignorant illiterates are destroying the country. That pretentious intellectuals are destroying the country. That blind adherence to tradition is destroying the country. That indiscriminate social modernization is destroying the country. That soulless corporations are destroying the country. That 45 years of socialist planning destroyed the country. Basically, unless you're middle class, politically neutral professional, you're destroying India. I was not allowed to drink milk after eating fish, otherwise I'd get really sick and die. This is common myth in Desi culture. 1. Fish aren't animals. 2. Wet hair when it's cold can give you pneumonia. That blood is blue until it contacts air. That if you swallowed a watermelon seed, a watermelon vine would grow from your belly button. I am 100% sure this is incorrect. Wasn't this a Rugrats plot? My bee of a stepmom thought plants cured everything. She had a fever of 101 and swore the cucumber mint puree she drank fixed her. Dad took her to the emergency room and she came back saying it was her drink that did it, not the overnight stay and medicine. That going outside with wet hair would give me a cold. People put razor blades in apples at Halloween and otherwise tampered with candy. It was all urban legend. Even as a kid, I knew it would be pretty easy to trace it back to the house it came from. When I was a kid, someone placed a razor blade on a local water slide. So of course my parents didn't want me to go to the water slide park for years. You have been visited by the Bahumble Bee. Stay humble and believe in yourself. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check out another video. Or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.